Me and Ken talk about that on the show. And Clarity Advisors podcast, this is a masterclass to me about how to build relationships online. So what if I told you there was a guaranteed way to connect with any of your key accounts, any of those whales out there where you're like, man, I would love to have that logo on our website, but I don't know where to start. I'm not sure how to get in the door. I'm not sure how to meet. I'm not even sure who the right person is to really talk to yet. But if I told you there was a guaranteed way to connect with that person, would you believe it? Let me tell you, podcast guesting is one of the guaranteed ways. I just got this from Ken Trumka, man. Ken Trumka runs an actual show called the Clarity Advisor Show. I came on there, talked about podcasting. He came onto the actual Shaping Culture podcast, talked about building up teams and learning how to properly communicate with people from different backgrounds. It was an awesome conversation. Really enjoyed coming on his show as well. And I got to tell you, this is one way I believe to be. There aren't many guarantees in business. And I'm not saying they're going to be guaranteed to actually buy anything or do anything with you. I'm not saying you're going to guarantee to find the right person that you'll be able to pitch. I will say this though, it's almost a guarantee. If you reach out to a large company, let's say 1,000 people plus, let's just go there. There's bigger whales out there, but let's just say 1,000. If you get in front of at least, say, the top 10 influencers in the company, and I don't mean people that are directly in your department that you need to sell to, but the creme de la creme. And if you have a platform to bring them on, so if you have a blog where you can interview them about whatever the industry topics are in their space that are relevant and something that they might want to have their voice heard about, I think they'll be open to it. I know this because I've done this for years now. Bring people onto my shows and giving them just a space to kind of talk about what's important in their world. I think this is one of the ways that you can guarantee to connect with that account. Now, if you get one of the top people like the CEO, you get like the CMO, or you get whatever makes sense for your topics that you're going to be talking about on your podcast, you get that person on your podcast, and then you go about literally emailing out clips from that interview to other people at that company. I think you'll get a response. I've always gotten a response when I need to get into a key account. If I have another person on my platform talking about their business or talking about their industry, especially if they're inside their company, I just don't get told no if I reach out to at least 10 plus people. But if you got somebody relevant that they're respecting, they're going to engage. Now, they may tell you, hey, that engagement may be, I never want to hear from you again, but you'll connect with them, right? And that's the thing that I think podcast guesting does. Man, me and Ken talk about that on the show. And Clarity Advisors podcast, this is a masterclass to me about how to build relationships online. I met with Ken at Sales Bootcamp training. Joe Peachy's training is phenomenal. Highly recommend it to anybody that's looking to do more sales. And literally, me and Ken sat down, broke some bread together with him and his family, beautiful family. And we talked about going on each other's shows. From there, did the podcast. Both of us recorded each other's show. And then he sends me this card. It's called depth. It's not the shallow stuff that we get a lot of times when we do a lot of activities online, but being able to build quality relationships, I think, is where it's at, especially if you could potentially do business with each other and you have somebody that's at a key account that you would love to talk to, going in deep with them, having a 30-minute conversation about things that matter in the industry or just matter to them personally. Yeah, that's going to give you a different level of conversation opposed to just giving a cold LinkedIn pitch. Nothing wrong with those. I do those too. But when you talk about having depth and really getting to understand someone, taking a couple moments to really jump on the microphones and understand where they're coming from. And then if you put the icing on the cake with the handwritten, holiday card and thank you for coming on the show, it gets no better. So if you haven't checked out Ken's podcast yet already, go down to the Clarity Advisors podcast. He has links on YouTube as well. I'll put them all below, as well as you can hear it on Apple, Spotify, wherever you consume your podcast. With that being said, hopefully you guys have a great holidays. Check out his show. He'll be on the Shaping Culture podcast coming out later this week. It's going to drop on Friday for the Fresh Start Friday. Can't wait to have that episode launch. With that being said, Ken, thank you as always, man. And for anyone that's looking for ways to figure out how to leverage podcasting to really go about, building up your business or really just building up quality relationships, it's the best networking tool out there. And what Ken did is that's just next level. So hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Look forward to getting your feedback on it.